gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again on our weekly live video on Friday mornings, where we talk about everything that goes on in real estate here in Northeast Florida. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Angela Olmos. I am a full-time realtor in the Northeast Florida area, and I'm here with my co-host Delaney Bravo, who's with Fiber Mortgage. How you doing, Delaney?
I am good. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to be a good day, feel good Friday. And I am excited to hear what you have to share about. And I have something cool to share. And there's a lot of cool events happening in Jacksonville. So I'm excited to go over it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we're going to roll today is I have a segment that I brought about talking about real estate sales, and I'll share that with you guys. Then Delaney has some really cool stuff that she's going to share with you about financing. And then at the very end, we're going to wrap it up with some of the things that are happening in Jacksonville this weekend. So we hope that this is awesome for you. If you know of anyone that could benefit from this information, please be sure to share, because that would really make it even so much better. So, okay, so this is what I brought to share with you guys today. Let me just go ahead and log in here real quick. Okay, can you guys see that? Is that coming through okay, Delaney?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so today I want to talk about when is the best time to sell your house and why everyone thinks the spring is the best time to sell your home. But really, truly, the best time to sell your home is when others aren't selling. And this could be at various times in the year. Yes, there's always been like this seasonality to it, where around spring, we see more listings coming on the market. However, one of the things that we're seeing this year in 2023 is kind of an interesting trend. This graph that I'm going to share with you guys actually tracks all the listings that we've had for April for the past years, starting in 2017. And there was an average. So you can kind of see a pattern. And, these patterns are great because it helps us identify an opportunity. It helps us predict where things might be going. It's not always an absolute certainty, but you can definitely see a pattern. And when you see that consistently, it helps you make better decisions. So one of the things that we see is that for April, for example, starting with April in 2017, throughout the whole United States, okay, there were over 500,000 listings put on the market, 555,000 to be exact. And then in 2018, a similar number happened, 552,000 listings. 2019, 564,000. So you can see that's kind of like a trend. It's a commonality. Now we all know what happened in 2020. This is what we're seeing here in red. Back when COVID hit and the pandemic started, things definitely went down, and there weren't as many sellers wanting to put homes on their market. So that actually came down to about 349,000, which was a big decrease, creating an enormous demand because there were still people wanting to move, but there was just not enough supply. Now, as things started to recover, we did see the following year more listings come up, not quite as many as we had seen in the previous years, like in the 500,000 listings range, but this was just under it. Back in 2021, we have 493,000 listings. And then in April of 2022, we had 497,000 listings. So, there's definitely not enough supply for all the demand that we had seen. But let me bring you guys up to now, 2023. And I know we're just a couple of weeks into May, but this data just tracks April, so it's still very consistent. Here in April of 2023, we only had fewer than 400,000 listings, just 392,000. So what this tells you is that there isn't as much competition as there normally would be when you're selling your home. And this could be a major game changer for you, because anytime you have more competition, then there's going to be other things for buyers to consider, and then based on all of the listings that they have to consider, they'll make a decision. However, right now you have an opportunity to shine because there just aren't enough listings. So it gives you such an edge on the market. It gives you a farther competitive advantage that you really don't want to miss out. If this is something that you have been thinking about doing, it's a great time to do so from that standpoint. Now, another thing that you want to also consider is that if your home no longer serves you, if this is something that you have been thinking about moving because you just need more space, and now you're working from home and you need a home office, then definitely see how we can help you with that, because there are ways of doing that. I can specialize on getting your home sold and helping you buy your next home, and then Delaney can help you with the financing of that. And just to kind of get you guys started, I am going to drop the link to my blog on here, and then you guys can read more about what I'm talking about. But there's also something that I want to call your attention to, and that's a free guide that I have on my blog. And those are things to consider when selling your home. So please log in there. It's a free download. So all you have to do is put in your information, and then I can send you that free e-guide, which could help get a little bit more in depth and answer any further questions that you might have. So that's what I have brought for you guys today. I hope that was helpful.
Well, and one thing I want to mention, because obviously on the mortgage side, I'm not working with sellers, right? Sometimes you're selling and buying a home at the same time, which is what Angela was just talking about. But one thing I want to mention is I have heard, not as much now, but in the last year or two, people saying, well, the market isn't like it was in 2020 during the pandemic. What I want to address, like just to kind of explain a little bit further really quickly, is that yes, the rates were extremely low, but look at those listings. So the competition to get a home was so much higher. What I mean by this is to secure a home, it was very likely that, and you could attest to this, Angela, that you were offering more than the sellers were listing their home for to even get a shot in the door. You needed to, many times they liked to only see conventional financing offers with 20% down. And if you ask the seller to say, hey, will you cover $5,000 of my costs to lower my amount to bring to closing? It was just not a thing. So yes, the market was, like in the rate department, was way lower, but the competition, and this graph just attests to that, is the competition was so much higher. So if you are somebody who doesn't have 20% down, you're somebody who wants to get seller credits, those things are so much more possible now. So don't write it off just because the rates are at a 5 instead of a 3, because if you can't get into the home at all, then you can't, then that doesn't matter. So it's just something to think about. What are your thoughts on that, Angela?
I absolutely agree. I don't think that the rate really matters if you don't have a rate to apply it to.
Yes.
The main thing is, just being able to get into home ownership, which serves so many other benefits, such as, creating equity. It's not just about the savings on the rate. And a lot of times people don't realize that, because, there was such a competitive atmosphere in the market back in 2020. Yes, the rates might be lower, it might have been lower, but then you were offering so much more on the sales price. And then you were also dealing with no contingencies, basically, because, back then there were people buying without any inspections, and, just things were really, really competitive. Right now, we're starting to see a little bit more balancing in the market. So this is actually an invitation for you guys to take a much closer look, because even though the rates are a little higher, you're going to be saving on those sales prices, which might actually outweigh, and you'll come out even better.
Yes. And that kind of segues into what I'm going to chat about today, which is another thing that I get questions on all the time. And it's actually, I'm a nerd, especially when it comes to mortgages. I'm sure you guys know that. But what I want to share today is making your money work for you. So how do we make your money work for you? So I'm going to go into this really quickly, and I don't know how to get this little bar down at the bottom, but you know what? We're going to work. There it goes. Okay. So basically I have buyers saying, I want to put 20% down. Okay, wonderful. I want to put 10% down. I want to put 5%, whatever that amount is. Now, then they're saying, I really want my payments lower. So I want to tell you guys a real life scenario on if you took the same $10,000 and you put it towards more down payment, you put it towards buying down your rate, or you could pay off your PMI, which many people don't know is an option. If you put less than 20% down, you will have PMI in some form. There are 3 ways you could have PMI, and PMI stands for private mortgage insurance, and it is essentially an insurance policy for the lender. If you were to default on your mortgage, the lender would get a little bit of money back to cover that loss for that entire mortgage that they are forfeiting. So that is why PMI is based off of credit score, it's based off of down payment, things like that. Because if you're putting 3% down with 600 credit, then you are statistically a higher risk for that lender to take on than somebody who has 15% down at a 780 credit score. So you will have it in one of three ways, which is either paying it monthly, paying it off at closing in one bulk amount, and you get a discount if you do that, or the lender can pay for it, but you will have a higher rate. So I wanted to set side by side, you have $10,000. It doesn't make the most sense to put that towards your down payment, or does it make a lot more sense to use it in another way? So to dig into this chart really quickly, these are all based off of a $400,000 home price with 10% down. So let's say that you wanted to put 20% down. And I said to you, well, your goal is to have the lowest possible payment. If you take away $10,000 from your down payment and you put that towards your rate, yes, you're putting less money down. And you can see on the chart that $10,000 in your down payment is going to give you a monthly difference of $50 to $60, which, let me pick your jaws up off the floor.
That's not a whole lot for my $10,000.
No, and I purposely, oh my God, I know it's not. And I purposely didn't show Angela this chart beforehand.
Like, what?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So let's say you're putting $10,000 more down, your payment would go down $50 to $60. If you put less, 10,000 less down, your payment would go up $50. So yes, that 10,000 is spread over 30 years. So you have to think about that when you're talking about your down payment and your loan amount. So not a huge impact, but some people really want to put a certain amount down, and that is completely your call. But I always say, well, here's other ways your money can work for you. If you took that same 10,000, specifically $9,773, and you put that all towards your rate, you can pay for a lower interest rate. Many people are doing that right now as well. But in this scenario, I pulled up the wrong one. I made a typo down here on the second one. It should be $245 a month. That seven's just hanging out. I'm going to keep my little hand over it. We just roll with it here, people.
That's it. It's real. It's live video.
Live video. So you took that same 10,000 and you took it away from your down payment. Yes, your payment's going up. Let's call it $60 a month. It's going up because you took that money away, but you're putting it somewhere else, and you would save $245 per month if you took the same amount of money and put it here versus here. So if we're taking away that $60 difference, or $50 difference, let's just call it $195 a month. So you are saving 4 times the amount on your monthly payment if you were to shift that 10,000 towards your rate. And that blows my mind.
Yeah, that's amazing. And most people don't even consider that that's an option. You know, everyone thinks like, oh, the less that I borrow, the less of a monthly payment would be. And while that's true, it's not necessarily the most effective. There are other ways that if you really want to lower your monthly payment, you can do that more effectively by doing what Delaney's saying, which is buying down the rate, because that's going to give you 4 times more savings than just putting it towards the down payment.
100%. And this isn't a really equatable option, but if you were having, 10% down, your monthly mortgage insurance would be $45. This is based off of a 780 credit score. So you're going to have the absolute lowest option out of all of the tiers. So you can choose to pay off your PMI up front. You would never have it on the loan. You're taking care of it up front and saying, hey, lender, I am paying this off I'm paying it off. I'm less of a risk. I don't want to have it monthly. Let's take that same $45. And if you did that times 12, you would be, X amount of dollars. And then you take that towards 10 years. If you were to multiply out that $45 over 10 years, you would be way more at the end of that 10 years with what you would have total paid in your monthly PMI than if you paid $3,000 to pay it off. So sometimes it's like, okay, well, you want the lowest payment. And you got $10,000. Let's not buy down your rate as much. but let's pay off the PMI. Because again, for the same $10,000, you could pay off your PMI and save the same amount for only $3,000. And this is a service that I do for my clients. And I can just personally say this is not something every loan officer does. You put 20% in your application, that's what the loan officer is running with. They're never going to blink an eye to try to make your money work for you. And this doesn't go for every loan officer, but I have had multiple clients tell me, Delaney, I have never had anybody make a chart like this and explain it to me. Why would I put 20% down when I can put, 10% down, pay off my PMI, buy down my rate, and I'm saving 6 times the amount that I would if I just did 20% down. This is just a little extra something to give you an edge to get you where you are comfortable. So super cool info, and I just wanted to share it today.
I think it's amazing. And it just kind of, makes everyone more aware of all the things that you can do. The average home buyer. But here's another interesting fact that I came across this week. The average person in the United States buys a home every 7 years. So, this is only something that you think about every 7 years, if that. So, there's so many other ways. And the best way to really find out what's going to be most beneficial to you is just to go ahead and make the application, talk with Delaney, and then she can do all of these scenarios, which, the numbers might be slightly different depending on the sales price that you are buying in, so it may be a greater savings, possibly, depending again on the sales price. And how much you have to work with, here's a scenario with $10,000, but if you have 25,000, 30,000, whatever your case may be, those numbers will adjust. And I think it's a great service that she offers to be able to help you understand that, and most importantly, make you aware of all that you can do. There's more than one option to help you get to those savings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we take it and we send you back to Angela and we say, okay, now you're pre-approved. We have your specific goals, your specific plan. And then we go back to Angela and say, okay, this is where they're comfortable. And this could allow you to go higher on your price and still have that payment. So this is an option where Angela will come to me and say, hey, these people really are liking homes at $450, but to keep their payment where they want it, they really got to be at $350. And I say, but do they? And then we run the numbers and we see. So me and Angela work as a tag team to get you where you want to be, location-wise, payment-wise, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, so please reach out, guys. We're here sharing this information, but we really think that you should take action on it. And it might be someone that you might know of, who is in your circle of friends, either school, church, work, the gym. Think of all those people. There may be someone there that, could really benefit from this information. So I hope that you share it.
Yay.
All right. So what else is happening in Jacksonville, Delaney? Anything fun going on this weekend?
Let's share this tab and let's talk about it. Okay, so you guys know I'll always kind of pull a little bit of some different options to kind of chat about when it comes to Jacksonville. So Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix is in concert. So this is actually a kind of like a symphony thing, and they play all the different songs. They have like a whole kind of just a whole experience with different vendors and things like that. So if you or your children are into Harry Potter or just want kind of a magical evening, this is happening tonight at 7. So there wasn't a ton of stuff happening this weekend, which is rare, but this is one thing because it's Mother's Day. So I know if I was, a company or a vendor, I probably wouldn't, pick this date as well. But tonight, Harry Potter in concert with a ton of fun stuff. And I know a lot of kiddos love this. So if you have been wanting to go to Harry Potter Land, but not wanting to pay $200 for a ticket to Universal, then come over to this option.
And where is this at, Delaney?
Yes. It's downtown and it's at the Center for Performing Arts, the Times Union Center for Performing Arts, right there downtown. Really easy to get to and a ton of parking right by there.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. My son's turning 8 years old today. So yeah, Gabriel, it's crazy how fast they grow, but yeah, today's his 8th birthday. And we were thinking, I asked him this morning, I said, what do you want to do? And he's like, arcade. He's like all about the video games, but this will be probably a good option. I'm going to run it by him and see if he might want to Reassess.
Yes, reassess the situation. Okay, this one is a complete and total selfish option. And let me, because it's sharing my screen or my tab separately. So let me share my window instead. So it goes to the other option here. There we go. We're getting this down. Okay.
That's it. Okay.
Okay, so Nate Bargatze is one of my personal favorite stand-up comedians. I am a huge, huge stand-up comedy fan. So and he's clean. So a lot of them aren't, but he is a clean comedian, family friendly. He is absolutely hilarious. And sometimes comedians, like, you have to get their sense of humor. He is across the board hilarious. So he is coming, and they even added a new show because there was too much overflow. So it shows that there's a lot of people who are going to see him. So this is happening at the Moran Theater. Thursday was yesterday. Tonight it's happening as well. And
Nice.
let's see here, 7:30 to 9:30, and then this is also right down there at the Moran Theater in downtown. So great option, hilarious comedian, and it's great for a date night. It's great for friends, whatever you're looking for. So wanted to share that one as well.
Very cool. Very cool. I love to laugh. There's something about laughter that just kind of like relieves us all stress and just kind of re-energizes you. This should be a lot of fun.
Yes, and I think I said I've read this somewhere, but who knows if I have really, but that everyone's like, "Oh, I read it." That you have better memory when you're laughing because it actually fires the neurons differently in your brain. So that is why when you have a great time laughing, going and doing something, it's so much more memorable to you in the years farther because it stores it differently. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I could totally see that making sense because there's so much going on in our brain, like neurons firing, and yeah, memory would definitely be tied to that.
Absolutely. And then the last one I just thought was kind of fun. This is tomorrow from 7 to 10. It's at Legacy Ale Works. So they do a lot of different events, a lot of different little things. This is called the Mom Prom. So for all the moms out there, maybe you want to get some ladies together and do something with your fellow moms Saturday night before Sunday with Mother's Day. So this is it has a DJ, and they're going to have tastings and tons of stuff like that. So just a little shout out to the moms and a little something to do this weekend there. So Mom Prom, first of all, adorable name.
Yes, I love it.
I know. Maybe we'll have to go to this.
Yes, that sounds like a lot of fun. Where is it?
It's at Legacy Ale Works, and that is Old St. Augustine Road. So it's in kind of the Mandarin area, so very accessible across the board. And it says admission is $55, but that does get you some drink tickets. It does get you a goodie bag, things like that. So just a great option and something kind of fun. And side note, don't forget about your moms this weekend, whether your moms, your grandmas, you're a mom yourself, your mom friends, it goes a long way. Moms do a lot of hard work. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Yes, absolutely. And please be sure to not forget that it's Mother's Day. You want to make sure that, you highlight all those women in your life, especially your mom, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what we're working with. And I feel like we kind of got through all of this a little bit shorter than normal, but it was just jam-packed, awesome info.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got, just to recap, we covered what's happening in the real estate market in terms of listings and how that's moving. And then Delaney has some amazing information on how to save on your monthly payments. So and then we wrapped it up with everything that's happening in Jacksonville, the fun stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's anyone, again, that you feel could benefit from this information, please do share. And until next time, guys, remember to be kind to one another, and we will see you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye.